Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be using the KKW to create a warm tone eyeshadow look. You guys already know that I love warm tone shades. They're just like my thing. I'm going to be using the KKW So Fire palette, and we're just going to jump right in. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in to this shade here, and that is going to be my first shade. I have never used any of the KKW eyeshadows, like the eyeshadow palettes. This will be my first time trying out one of the KKW eyeshadow palettes. So far so good. This brush is very fluffy and it's kind of loose, like at the tip, so I feel like this is good to get down like a transitional shade or whatever. So now I'm gonna be going in with this next shade here. Let me put that mirror down real quick. I'm going to take this orange shade here, and I just might as well use the mirror from this palette because it's really nice anyway. The first shade that I used, it didn't really have a lot of like kickback whenever I dipped the brush in, but when I did dip in with the orange, it did have more kickback from the shadow. So if you're one who doesn't like that, just keep that in mind. Now with that first shade, I feel like when I applied it to my lid, I feel like it looks lighter in the pan than it does when it goes onto the skin. But it could be the concealer that I have on my lids, because of course I'm using the new e.l.f. Camo hydrating concealer, the 16-hour camo concealer, but the hydrating kind. It's not the matte formula, so it could be the concealer, because I feel like the concealer, when I applied it, it went on light but then it oxidized, so it could be just the concealer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one eye with the camo concealer, and then I'll wipe this one off with a makeup wipe, and I'll go ahead and apply the Anastasia Beverly Hills, where is it, primer, and then we'll go ahead and do this eye without the concealer as primer. So I'm going to go back in with that first shade and that first brush and just go around the edges. And I'm going to say right now that the orange shade like just blended really nicely into the the first shade that I applied. So I really like the orange. Now I'm going to go back in with the orange and just build up the color, the intensity. Now I'm going to go in with the smaller brush, and I'm going to take this shade here, man, I'm like really like digging the shades in this palette. Like I love warm tone shades. I think they're so pretty. That's just my cup of tea. If you saw my last, I think it was my last two, not the last video but the video before, I reviewed the holiday kit from Kylie, and that palette, I mean not the palette, the eyeshadow duo that it came with the cool tone eyeshadow, and then it came of course with the lighter shade, which is like a highlight shade or whatever. I feel like that that eyeshadow, I don't know why it just didn't look good on me. Like I don't like cool tones on me. I'm just not a big fan of the cool tone shades. Now I'm gonna take, let's see, a little flat brush like this, and I'm gonna take this cream shade here to highlight the brow bone. And it's more of like a skin tone shade. Like when it comes to me, I feel like it's more closer to my skin tone than anything, so it's not really gonna highlight, it's just gonna emphasize the brow just a bit. And on my last video I used a shade similar to this one using the Flower Beauty palette that I got at Walmart. So I'm not gonna go in with that shade. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the gold shade here, or the bronzy shade, and apply that to the lid with my finger. Oof. This shade is bomb. Like, look at that. I'm gonna zoom in. Oops. I'm moving my camera. Like, girl, look at that shade. Like, it's stunning. Like, oh my gosh, I love it. So let's go ahead and clean off the concealer from this eye, and then I'm going to see how that shadow performs over the top of the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer. Okay. I'm just drying it with a paper towel. Right, so where is my primer? I just had it. Oh my gosh. Oh, here it is. Alright, so I'm going to use the primer, the Anastasia primer, and then we'll go ahead and see how, oh my god, it came out, too much came out. Like, that's a waste of product. OMG. And I only have the trial size, because when I bought the Normina palette, of course it came with the trial size. And this stuff you really don't need a lot. The formula is it's a very thin consistency, so I don't think you need a lot when you apply it. You need like very little. I think like one tiny dot will be good for both eyes. Like, you can see how pigmented that is. Like, you don't need a lot. So I'm just gonna use this fluffy brush to kind of like blend it into the skin. I feel like I don't want to get it like everywhere. And I do feel like this formula is kind of like drying, or like it emphasizes like dry spots on my eyelid. So now I'm going to take that first shade again, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply it and see how it turns out. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's going on. So I don't know if you can see, I'm applying the shade and it's still not true to the color that's in the pan. Of course, it comes off more darker when you apply it, which is not a bad thing. It's just not the color it looks in the palette. It looks more like a taupey color. I don't know how to explain it, but when you apply it, it comes out more like on the orange side. So it wasn't the concealer, but I will say that with the concealer I feel like it did blend nicer. Like I feel like with the Anastasia formula, like the primer, I feel like it kind of leaves like dry spots, or I don't know. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing, and so I'm just doing the same steps basically as the other eye. Man, I really like these shadows. Like, they're so nice. Like, this palette really is so fire. Like, it's, oh, it's fire. It's fire, girl. It's fire. I like it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna blow it out a little bit more. This is pretty. Like, you guys gotta get your hands on this. And I know, like, I'm like always late on reviews, like with products, but there's just so much makeup always coming out that it's like kind of hard to keep up, dude. Like, I still have stuff in like boxes where I haven't even opened up because I'm like overwhelmed with all the makeup we have like coming out. It's just crazy. But I don't know, I'm really liking this eyeshadow palette. Like, definitely use don't use this primer. Like, I don't like the Anastasia Beverly Hills primer. Like, I think when I used it with the Norvina palette, like, it didn't give me that much trouble. Like, I feel like the shadows, I think, did go on pretty good, but I don't know, for some reason it's not for some reason the eyeshadow primer is not mixing well. Like, they're kind of like clashing, you know, like there's no like, they don't mix well together or something. It's weird. But as far as the turnout, like, I feel like these shadows are amazing. OMG. Like, I wish they would slow it down on coming out with so many palettes, so that would give you time to kind of just enjoy the moments of these eyeshadow palettes, you know, because like, I feel like sometimes, like, I'll buy a palette and I'll use it for a little bit only because Like, and I could really love the palette or whatever, or the eyeshadows, but it's just the fact that there's always something new coming out. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that so much. Like, I love this new product so much, and then it's like, boom, something else comes out. It's like, what the heck? Like, give me a chance to enjoy like the palette. But so far, like, I don't know, look at that. Like, I love warm tone shades. Like, they're just pretty. Oops. All right, so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and finish the rest of my face off camera, and then I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish the bottom lash line, and I think I want to like really smoke it out. Like, I want it a little bit more dramatic than what I'm used to doing. So I'm gonna go in with the orange shade first and start blowing it out. Super like dramatic. That I feel like that's dramatic. And I'm just going in with the fluffy brush, the first one I used in the beginning of the video to apply the transition shade, and I don't have no product on it, just buffing out the orange shade that we just placed down. And then what I'm gonna do is get the Jeffree Star JS12 brush, and I'm just gonna get the darkest shade that we used, so this shade here, and I'm gonna drag that along the lower lash line as close as possible to the lash line, because I don't want to get rid of the orange shade we just blew out. I just want to like accentuate the lower lash line a bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some bottom lash mascara, but so far I'm loving the way this eyeshadow looks. It's pretty. Like, girl, you can't tell me this does not look pretty. It's pretty. Like, let me zoom you in so you can see, like, I'm not even lying. Mascara, and apply that to the lower lashes. OMG, like, I just literally got it all underneath my lower lash line. I just gave my eyes ojo. So I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'll flake it off with a spoolie or with a Q-tip. Gosh, like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm so obsessed with this eyeshadow look. It looks really stunning. Like, if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking in my mirror, but it's pretty. The lashes I have on are the Kiss 01 lashes. I bought these because Sandy here on YouTube, she talked about them in, I think it was like her favorites video. I'll go ahead and link that video down below. I'll link that video down below where she talks about these lashes, and I bought them because of her, like, and they're pretty. I like them. They're natural looking, and I feel like they don't cover up whatever eyeshadows you do on your lids. So I don't know, I am like so obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this look. I'm feeling to go somewhere right now. I didn't show what I applied on the inner corner, but I just used my Wet n Wild highlight powder in Golden Flower Crown. This is what I used to highlight around the highest points of my face, and I use that for the inner corner highlight, just because the only light shade that is in here is this shade here, and it's a matte, so I didn't want to use that in my inner corner. But that's pretty much it. I really hope that you guys enjoy watching me create this eyeshadow look. I hope that you took some inspiration from this and create your own look. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be seeing you guys in my next video.